What's going on? What's going on? We gotta do a sound check real quick.
Microphone check. 1 2 1 2 1.
I don't see no sound coming from there though, so I have to make sure it's on.
Microphone check. 1 2 1 2. It ain't on. Microphone check. 1 2 1 2. Microphone check. 1 2 1 2. Microphone check. Microphone check.
1 2 1 2, Mike.
Microphone check.
1 2 1 2, Mike. Okay. Okay, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy TJ, and welcome to a fresh episode of TJ's 100% Real Talk. So share this real quickly. Good job.
That's the second time I did that.
I'm always trying to destroy stuff. So you can't even see actually the sign in the back, but it says it's supposed to say live on YouTube, but I'm thinking that's because of the camera, or it's because the light it directly kind of like flashes on there and whatnot. Yeah. Hey, you need a life journey. What's going on? Okay, guys. So first, you know what I'm saying, we coming in live.
Coming at you live with another fresh episode. Yeah, y'all know how it go. We apply the word of God to this thing we call life and leave you encouraged through the power of His might. So if you're married or single, I just ready to mingle. Turn your speaker up because it's time to chop it up with TJ's 100% real talk. TJ's 100% real talk. We're coming at you live with another fresh episode. Yeah, y'all know how it go. We apply the word of God to this thing we call life and leave you encouraged through the power of His might. So if you're married or single, I just ready to tell you speak up because it's time to chop it up with TJ's 100% real talk.
What's good? What's good, everybody, man? What's going on? Welcome to a fresh episode of TJ's 100% Real Talk. We coming at you live all the way from that H-Town.
In his house.
So, what's going on, everybody? And, okay, hey, the Broaden family, what's going on? What's good? So, this episode, I got it open, man. I got this episode open. We were going to do something different, but I said, man, I don't have enough mics for it. So, y'all, please pray for me. I got to get some more mics, man. We was going to kind of pass around and whatnot. So I got to make sure I get me some more mics. But this episode, man, we're going to have it freely open. Basically, man, just to talk about life in general, talk about life, period. And, what's going on and everything. This is what's going on out there. And I do have one topic that I did want to talk about. My sister kind of brought this to my attention yesterday. I kind of looked, she had my younger sister Sarah posted something on Facebook to where I guess this guy was talking about females, and he was saying that sometimes when females get upset, they revert back to their 7-year-old selves when they be all, when they be complaining and stuff like that. You should have to understand. He said you have to understand that women revert back to the 7-year-old selves of childhood, and so you have to talk to them like they 7 and say what's going on, what's happening, what's wrong with you, or whatever and stuff. And so I just want to know, and I looked at that, man, and I was just like, come on, man, this is, to be honest with you, man. That's
okay.
On,
okay.
Like,
Lord.
Because, man, it's like, bro, like, why are you? This is why I say that you gotta be in God, man, because sometimes, man, you think you're saying stuff and you think it's legit, and it just sounds so stupid. Like, yeah, like you said. So it's like, so in other words, he was saying that women reverse back to their childhood trauma in their relationship.
Okay, what he was trying to say didn't work. He didn't portray right what he didn't relay right what he was trying to say. I haven't watched the clip, but what I think he trying to say, and I'm gonna try to help the brother out real quick before everybody chop him up. But I'm trying to help him out. Is what I believe he's trying to say. Not that you have to talk to them like they seven. Is that you have to people period, and it ain't just women. People period when they have unresolved issues from whether it's from their childhood or whatever the case may be, that yes, it does spill over into your relationship when it's not dealt with. When those
But why
things
7 years old though? Like,
he was probably just saying seven just because, just be saying seven. But how people, okay, like how people would say that a woman who's so dependent or that she says that she's so that she's so independent, she don't need no man and all this stuff, and you try to have a relationship with her or whatever, and it's almost like she pushed you away to a degree, to a certain point. But to her, she might have been okay. Well, she relied on daddy or a father figure, whoever in her life, and they disappointed her at one point, or they disappointed her too much that she's like, whatever, if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it myself.
okay.
So what he was probably trying to say is that sometimes us as people, period, as humans, that we when we deal with unresolved trauma and unresolved issues, that it can spill over into a relationship. So even the same thing with
But even if it is, but is it right for the man to even speak to that trauma like, she's a little kid? Like, no, I mean,
it depends. It got you. I gotta see the video. I ain't seen the video, and I haven't seen the video, but I've heard of how people can bring childhood trauma or things, unresolved issues, into their adulthood that is not dealt with. Um, and people, it's not that you have to talk to him. Oh, baby, what's the matter with that sugar plum? You ain't got to do all that. No,
right.
but it's a cool beans.
Cool beans.
But it's I think he was probably trying to like, again, I said I ain't seen the video, so he might have meant what he said. But as I'm trying to help him out, and it's kind of hard because I ain't seen the video. But there are things that people do deal with and that people go through that it does not get. They don't have a healing from it.
Right.
They didn't get their healing from it. So because sometimes that they don't get their healing from whatever it is that they had to face, whatever it was that was traumatic to them. That's why they say they trauma. That it was a traumatic experience for them. That it can lead to the reason why, or it can be attached to the reason why they do the things they do, why they act the way they act, or why they don't allow certain things. Is because of that experience that they had that caused so much damage for them that they haven't healed from it. And when that happens,
that's it.
Wait,
yeah, no.
That's what he should have been saying. Now I ain't even I haven't even watched this, but because that title right down long says treat your lady like a treat your lady like a child.
Like a child, bro.
Now what he should have been trying to portray, but he ain't portrayed, it was what I just said. But how long is the video? Because
it's only like 5, I think.
If a man has a healthy understanding that women are children, and you are not in this adversarial back and forth with an adult, you're in this back and forth with a 7-year-old. So imagine you having a daughter, and your daughter comes up and says, "You broke, you're this and that." You're gonna be like, "What are you talking about?" What do you want? Come here. Why are you so mad? You're literally going to comfort her because you're mad about something. You're not mad at me. What's really bothering you? And you're actually going to comfort her. The same thing with your lady. When she started talking all kinds of crazy stuff or whatever, she's not mad at you. You triggered her and she's now in regression and she's literally talking to her mother or her father. And she's a 7-year-old child in regression. So all she really wants is for you to be like, you know what, come here. What's going on? Talk to me. She doesn't want to argue. She wants attention. She wants to be heard. She wants to feel safe. If a man has a
he tried to portray what I said, but he didn't portray that correctly.
It's the way he came. It's the way he came across. And it's
he tried to say no. He tried it. He got to work on how to explain that a little bit better because even the guys that was sitting there listening at first, one of them was like, "Okay, bro, you tripping? Like, where you going?" But you don't. You don't talk to them as a child, and that's what he shouldn't have said. And I think that's where he lost a lot of people is that you don't sit there and talk to them as a child. You give them that attention or whatever it is that you believe that they're looking for. That if they want that comfort, then okay, you give them that comfort, but you give them that comfort on an adult level,
right?
On a relationship level. You know what I'm saying? It's your cake, baby. You ain't gotta do all that.
You don't do that. Because in that sense, you're not respecting her as the woman that she is. You know what I'm saying? You're not respecting her. And so, man, we got some comments here. So,
go back up. Oh, this just don't help him out. Okay, so the broader family says, man, he made me mad with his lack of understanding behind. Oh, okay, she saw it, with his lack of understanding behind. Overthinking, Yanita's life journey. Overthinking equals saying too much. True. I didn't try to be too deep.
Yeah,
you're doing too much sometimes. Sometimes it ain't even all that.
But see, oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna keep. I did. Yanita's nice or say it's a no for me. They can, but it's everyone, not just women, right? Yes, I am adage. Oh, okay. Broader's family says no, not even not even a time when women get upset. It shouldn't be going back and forth to a childhood problem. However, wonder if he did something wrong to her, then how can he go back on that? He not with a child, he's with a grown woman. Right. So as every issue is not every time she get mad, it's not gonna be some childhood trauma. If that's what is in his mindset. And every time you get mad, that a female gets mad, that it's her it's a childhood trauma, then he tripping. Because you able to make her mad just as that childhood trauma made her mad. You can make her mad too.
Now, okay, so like coming from the man's perspective. Now, okay, so the type of female that he's trying to talk about are the ones who, because you do have some ratchet females, and you do have gold diggers. You do have different ones, but even with dealing with them, you don't have to deal with them like they are a child. You know what I mean?
You don't.
But
however, some perspective on everything,
then that's not,
Then he tripping.
But what he's saying is, in some situations, some women can be childish in that perspective to say, why you ain't doing this or why you ain't doing that or blah. They always complaining. While he's working, if he's working a full-time job and you at home, you either could be frustrated with your life.
Right. So that's what's everything. But it's not everything is a childhood. It's not a childhood.
That's where he made a mistake. It's not the childhood trauma, but she could be just tired of being a stay-at-home mom. Or it could be for selfish reasons. It could be for other things, but it's not, because some men and some women do it. Some men do childish stuff. They'll be like, "Oh, you ain't doing nothing. You ain't folding my clothes. You ain't fixing my food. You ain't doing this." Man, who said that that's her role, bruh?
First
like,
of all,
no.
if I'm
But-
doing all that's just because I chose to do it. Don't be trying
don't be trying to. Yeah,
you get
it don't have because childhood trauma. It depends on what happened, because now sometimes with childhood trauma, it just depends, and it depends if she or he has not gotten over what happened to them, then it could spill over into the marriage,
right?
But in his case, if it does spill over into the marriage, this is where he's wrong. This is where prayer and supplication comes in. This is where prayer and oh Lord, she didn't turn the light off, y'all. But this is where prayer and supplication comes in. This is where the maturity of being married come in. Because if you go back and try to treat her like a child, then you're not being mature yourself.
I would want to hear more of him to explain that part of treating her like a child. Because are you saying you don't when someone has an unresolved issue, a trauma from childhood, that does not mean that you treat them like a kid. That just means you address the root of the problem.
You address
the issue came from when she was a child, or when he was a child. But that don't mean that you treat them like one.
No,
you just realize, okay, this is where this came from. That hadn't been dealt with. So how do we move on from here? How do we deal with it so we can move on in a positive light?
That can cause a greater offense,
right? So you don't sit there and try to. Jesus.
No, I don't. This is why you have to stick to the word. Now that's his opinion, which opinions are not true. Mm-hmm. But this is why you have to stick to the word, because of course when you become married and when you become one, you have to understand that you are becoming married to an imperfect person, and you're gonna be taking on all what they have. Mm-hmm. Okay, but at the end of the day, you don't turn around and treat them like a kid just because they having a problem or an issue or some issue that you don't do that stuff. You're supposed to take it to God in prayer and be mature about it. Now, think about this: if I would have been immature to my wife, and when Carla was going through her tripping phase, or when I was going through my tripping phase, and if Carla would have been like, "Oh, TJ, you okay, baby? What's going on? You got some chest issues," and or either I go to her and be like, "Oh, what's going on? You got some stuff that you got to get up, baby. You got some stuff." Instead of going to God in prayer, like, bro, like. Everything is not just a fix. You can't fix everything like that. You know what I'm saying? You have to make sure you get to the root of the problem.
Mindset that every single time or that everything is an issue from childhood, that's an excuse for him to not take ownership of the role that he's playing for her to respond in the way that she's responding.
Basically.
So if he does that, and that's his point, that he ain't addressing the fact or taking ownership of what his role that he's playing,
right?
Of the things that might be triggering her. So if you know that it's a trigger, stop doing it.
Stop. Yep. Don't trigger it.
It's like, dude, why? If it doesn't, I don't remember how it's completely worded. I'm paraphrasing, but it's in the Bible. If it offends your brother, don't do it.
Right. Exactly.
If you know that it's offensive to them, then why do it?
That don't make sense. And like you need to agree here. It's that way. Well, first, the Broughton family says that do y'all think this man belittle all women? I'm not sure. I can't say that on him. I can't say that because I don't know the guy, so I don't know. And then Unita's life journey says, first of all, men have traumas or fits as well. Tantrums, sorry, and fits as well. This is why God instructs us on how to treat on one another. And then she said, love your wife as Christ loved the church. The wife should love her husband, cover versus cover. And so, yeah, matter of fact, can you look at the Ephesians, the 5th chapter? And that's why I say, like, people make stuff so complicated. They make it complicated when God really just gave you the instructions. And people they, oh well, the Bible don't have answers. Yes, it does. It has answers,
it got
for
answers
everything.
for everything.
And it teaches what you're supposed to do, because at the end of the day, you know, come on, man, you're gonna slip up and mess up. And there's a reason why Paul told men to love their wives as Christ loved the church. It's because, to be honest with you, men, we deal with ego problems. We deal with ego, we deal with pride. And so us as men, we would actually like submit more to our ego than we would to love, to be honest with you. And men, we have to learn how to love to continue to move forward in the relationship. So meaning, like, okay, we have to learn not only just ourselves, we have to learn how to love our wives. And so just as Jesus, loved the church ain't perfect. Everybody not perfect in there, but Jesus still loved us. So the whole point of Paul was saying that was, you have to love your wife in all her imperfections, in everything that she, you just have to love your wife. And then watch this, give her over to God. Give her over to God. You got some things that's going on or whatever, give her over to God. And this is why Paul specifically gave these instructions. He says, therefore, this is Ephesians 5.
Well, that scripture you was just
that was verse 20. It's
verse
right?
25.
Yeah. So then, and before that, did he say? No, yeah. So before that, he said that giving thanks always to all things unto God and to the Father in the name of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. And it says, submitting yourselves one to another in the fear of God. One to another, just like you need
one to
just
another.
Like cover versus cover. So you have to cover one another, right? So then it says, wives, submit yourselves unto your own husbands as unto the Lord. But what is that really saying? What is that really saying? It's saying, wives, just submit yourself to. It didn't say, wives, bow down and worship and be a slave to your.
But
it's
but
just,
people have put a negative connotation on the word submit.
Yeah, it's like, you don't understand. Submit means just to allow your husband to be the head of the household.
Follow.
And then, follow his leadership. But then also submit also means submit unto him and don't be submitting to no other man.
Don't listen to everybody.
Don't be going to no other guy and tell me, oh, he's just my best friend, but you know what I'm saying? I listen to him too. No, you can't be doing that. But that's why Paul put that there. It don't mean fix me a sandwich, like some people say it.
Right now, have my dinner on the table at 7:02 p.m.
That's how some guys are, though.
Child,
seriously.
You by yourself at 7:02 p.m.
It's like, dude, you need to relax, brother. Like, calm down. She don't need to have your food ready. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I understand that you work, but shoot, like in our situation, like, my wife worked too. So, there's some days to where, and now Carla does cook more than I do. But some days, man, I have to get in between them, man, and cook up something real quick and make sure the food ready. I'm sure Carla is very appreciative of that after getting off for work 12 hours.
Hallelujah.
And so, it's and that's why we have to understand how to work in a relationship, because we can't just treat the female. I cannot treat my wife like she my daughter, bro, just because she tripping out on something I did. That's not, you can't do that, bro. You have to make sure that you guys are subject under God and making sure you're covering each other under God. Man, make sure you love your wife as Christ loved that church. That means with all the imperfections.
He tried it. It ain't work.
It ain't work. I don't know. It kind of sounded like he was trying to sound.
He was trying to be profound, and he was not.
Yeah, he was. It was a fail. It was an epic fail, bro.
He tried, and he failed.
It's
he can go back to go back to school.
Yeah, man. It's just, come on, brother. Come on, man.
Well, people got who say a whole lot, but didn't say nothing.
That's
But
what I'm like, man. Come on, man. Like
yeah.
that's just too much, man. And and I think that's the reason why there's so much disagreement in marriages because people want to come up with their own opinion of things. And it's like, okay, who understands us more than God does? Nobody. So it's just that people don't want to submit to what he's saying because the Bible speaks to our hearts. It speaks to what's wrong so that can be corrected. And so that's when we abide by his word and abide by what he does, then okay, we can do that. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, I'm not gonna treat my wife like a little girl, bro. I'm not gonna do that.
Try it if you want to.
Nah, I ain't gonna do that.
Try it if you want to.
It's just childish, man. That's just not that ain't hitting it right. But but yeah, I mean it's something else, man. It really is. And that's why I say, sometimes, man, we just have to make sure that, you know, we just have to make sure, man, that we are in line with God. We have to make sure that we are in line with this word. We have to make sure that we are doing what he asked us to do, or we're going to be making silly opinions like this and then thinking that our opinions is just glorified. And it's like, dude, no. Like you gotta stay the course. You gotta stay the course on what God has, and that's why I say and to me the best thing is, man, look at yourself in the mirror, and look at yourself in the mirror, man, because we can point fingers all day in marriages, but dude, I mean, it's not gonna solve anything. You just gotta look at yourself and make sure yourself is right, and then you make sure you move forward with that. But yeah, man, I was like, man, I had to touch on that because I was like, dude, like, like it just don't make sense. It doesn't make sense, bro.
He tried it and it didn't work. It didn't work. It didn't work. Go back again because it didn't work.
Man. So okay, so then what would the next question is? What would make a woman say those things, or to get in that place of what he was saying, like to be angry or frustrated, like because I understand he's talking about trauma stuff, but what could a man do to his feelings was so so like what would get a woman in that space, and what could men do to keep her from getting into that space?
I mean, it depends on what she dealt with, what she experienced, what she went through. If I mean, I'm trying not to even compare to what he was. I can't try to take up for him no more. I tried it. I tried, but no. Anything depending on what the woman experienced, male or female, it doesn't even matter what a person experienced. With anything depending on what that can make them go back to a trauma,
Mm-hmm.
unresolved trauma. Now, anything can trigger somebody to a trauma that they might have experienced, but as far as how they handle it or the way that they react to that trigger will display one if they had been healed or not from it.
Mm-hmm.
And then actually, and if they've been healed from it, it ain't a trigger anymore. It won't be a trigger. It's just something. It just becomes something that they experience and they pass.
Okay.
And for I mean, anything could, and it's more so usually it's probably something that's repetitive,
Mm-hmm.
that's happened more than once. It ain't just the usual automatic, you told her to shut up. Oh my God, my mama used to tell me that when I was 5. It ain't, it usually ain't nothing that instantaneous like that,
Mm-hmm.
unless it's just something that's just hardcore that you just did.
Right.
So I don't know. It could be anything to try to that could cause someone to, and usually it's a buildup.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it is the buildup, and not to say all the time or usually, but sometimes it's a buildup that some people it takes more. before they go back to that.
Right.
And it just may be that one time that you just said something just extra dumb that just made that just
They
made them
made it
go back to
trigger.
it.
Yeah.
But I mean, anything to keep, I should say, to answer the second question, because it all depends on what the trauma was or their experience was. But to keep from that a person from resorting back to that, stop doing stuff to trigger it.
Yeah, and yeah.
Now, if it's something that that really should not be a trigger for that person, then okay, that's something different. That means y'all you discuss it as adults.
Right.
You discuss it. Not talking about she's baby going back to you 7 years old or you a kid, but you discuss it as adults and talk through it. Not no screaming and yelling. Gain for understanding. Listen to understand, not listen to react.
Because he even tried to compare it between a daughter and son relationship. I mean, a daughter and father relationship. But you can't do that because a daughter and father relationship is different than a
he said
husband
on
and
my
wife.
about that week. If you said something, he said something about if you something I'll make her. She's resorting back to her 7-year-old self, talking to her mom, talking to her father. That ain't true.
Right? Yeah. How do you? Yeah. You
That's
can't.
not true. And then it could be stuff that it could be something that you did that she saw as growing. It wasn't even necessarily something that directly affected her. It could have been the way that she saw that her daddy was treated, the way that she saw that her mom was treated, and that she saw it so much throughout the years that she has her guard to say that I'm not gonna get treated like that.
Yeah.
So you can't even always say that it's a trauma that was directly for her.
Right.
That it's a hit for her. So he if you realize that something causes a person to react in a negative way, just don't do it.
Nah, yeah, you have to, and just like I was reading the comments, I do believe you need this life journey when she said his feelings was hurt. Understand her, and then they have to talk about the trauma. And that's another true statement too.
And
when you have you can't make them, but at the same time you can sit them down and say what's going on, baby. You know what's good. You know,
get to the root of it. Get to the actual cause of it, and then but you got to realize too, what are you doing? Is there something that you're doing that could help her not experience that?
Right.
Is this something that you could say that you say that won't help her, that will help her to keep from resorting to that?
Right.
Help her understand why you said what you said, so she can understand that this is not related
to what you went through. Yeah, it's not related. It's not related. But then again, you have to open up and you have to discuss about that. But then too, the other party have to be mature enough to handle what she or he is going to release. Because if you're not mature enough to handle what they're going to release, you might say something stupid and they can just start stuff all over again and make it aggressive. And then Yelita's life journey says, then he will know how to comfort her, pray with her as well. Absolutely. Prayer always works. Prayer is the key. And it says anyone, Rachel in recovery says anyone can get in that space, whether current or not. They must understand their significant other to not even produce the problem in the first place. Absolutely. To not even try to trigger that. If you know, but you have to know what they went through. So you have to open up to find out what that is. And it says, if you know your significant other, like, why do it? Like, don't you know your wife and husband? And that's true. But
now,
there was some things
that just might come up that you had not experienced.
But see, that's the thing. When I first met Carla, though, there were some things I didn't know about Carla's past, and there were some things she didn't know about my past. But the longer we've been together, the more we released to each other, and the more we found out. So it's just like, oh, okay. But I didn't. When she told me, I didn't like. I didn't do any of that. You know what I'm saying? What I did was I came to understand. Like even when I told her my stuff, she didn't. She was like, but we understood one another, and then we prayed one another. We felt for each other, and then and that's why I say when you begin to express your traumas and everything, you have to make sure that the significant other don't laugh. Because in some cases, some people laugh and they think that stuff is funny. And it's like, no, it's not, bro. This is something serious that I went through, you know? And when you do that, it can recreate another trauma. And sometimes the enemy will be able to use that to get to the other person. So when the significant other is listening, you have to make sure you listen with understanding and a loving heart, the love of Christ. And make sure you understand, which goes back to the word of God to say that husband love your wives as Christ loved the church. So it goes back to that. And then it says, cover her in prayer and supplications, and counseling is important if she has trauma that is too much. Yeah. And if the trauma is too much to handle, um, go to a licensed minister, a licensed pastor that has a counselor license or whatnot to go and get that fixed. Or either you go to a therapist or things of that nature, because we understand that yes, you're in God, but sometimes, man, you have to make sure that you are make sure that you're right in the mind to make sure you're able to handle that, because sometimes a significant other can't handle that. Sometimes they can't. I'm serious. It says, then Rachel Recovery says, like if my SO triggers me, yeah. So if my SO triggers me, I'll be mad because he's acted brand new, like he's dumb. So, and unfortunately, man, and I've seen things. I've seen.
And don't be using these things on purpose to get at them.
Yeah,
as a payback
I've
to
seen.
hurt them.
Yeah, I've seen things, and sometimes people just do stuff out of the evilness of their heart. But it's we have to make sure we have a loving heart first, and we gotta make sure that we gotta make sure that we are with Christ, because again, just like the Bible says, man, there's sin in every man, and every man, no man is perfect. So we got to make sure that we have the fruits of the spirit, and make sure we have, God within us, to make sure that, whoa, hey, what you doing? You're going around the wrong way. Now you're about to say this, and that ain't right. You come back. Let's come back and retract. Let's do this all over again, because you about to go the wrong way, and you're going to start a huge fire, and it's going to blow up everything. You better stop. That's what the Holy Spirit does, seriously. And so that's what we got to do. But the way that guy said you got to handle it, man, I'm honestly in total disagreement with that. You do not treat somebody as they are a child. And again, a father and daughter relationship is different from husband and wife relationship. You mean to tell me that I'm going to treat my wife like I treat my daughter? No. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that, bro.
But you could tell too on the lines of what he was talking was just as that wasn't as far as marriage.
You think it was a boyfriend girlfriend thing?
Yes.
That's even worse.
And which is not to say that it's right or not. No.
That's disgusting.
Not to say that it's right or not, no, but the way that he was speaking is like, did you?
I'm trying to no, and you can't.
You ain't married. You ain't been in no serious relationship. Not no real one.
No, man. Come on, man. I'm not doing that, bro. I'm not doing that, because
if that's his approach to relationship, period, to issues in relationship, then he go. If he ain't married, he gonna be single
for the rest of his life. For the rest of his life.
Until that mindset and that perspective change, or until he really understand what he was trying to portray, and he was really trying to say what he was trying to say, but didn't say it right, then I'm gonna need him to go back and retract that, and really get an understanding of what he was meaning. What he was
a real woman will walk right out that door, and she would. She was like, "Man, you talking to me like that? I'm gone. I'm out."
First of all,
I'm dealing with that. I'm not dealing with that. That's what
I told you one time. Lord. When we was living at
Ariel.
Was it? Yes. I told you there one time. And mind you, this was like really like a month after we had got married. Or so. It was early on. Ariel was the first. Wasn't that the name of the first place?
No.
What's the name of the first place?
The
one off of
I would call it Dairy View.
It was because of the street. Yeah. But I remember I told you one day I ain't signed up for this.
Uh,
Because it was like, dude, what? I will walk out the door.
mm-hmm.
I
wasn't right. I ain't gonna lie. I had to get myself together.
But it ain't just to say that you was doing that, but just to say that it's like that. When you come, when you try to bring that to somebody, whether it's a male or female.
Yeah, he can't be married at all.
Oh, when you try to bring that to a real one, as Rachel was saying, they gonna be looking at you like you crazy.
I'm trying to tell you. They ain't gonna have no respect for you, bro. You done lost all respect. You has none from me. Zero. That's why I be like, man, I just it's funny how the way people come up with their own analogies to think that, oh man, this is the answer.
Everybody think they are expert.
Man, everybody, bro.
Everybody think they are.
Oh my God, man.
I understand,
and the stuff be sounding so corny, bro. You're like, what are you talking about?
Like, what are you from one of their childhood traumas?
like one video I saw, this dude, and I think we talked about this before, but this dude talking about, man, he come in and he came in the barbershop or something, and they were talking about, I guess my wife don't work. My wife don't work, man, because I pay all the bills. I got the money. She do as I say. You know what I'm saying? I own her. You know what I'm saying? She do as I say. She better have that food cooked when I come home. And you know what I'm saying? Because I make that money. You know what I'm saying? If she needs an allowance, I'll give her one. But nah, bump that.
First of all, I'm a grown woman. What you doing giving me an allowance? Like I got chores or something.
Bro, like he was serious, bro. Like he was like, man, I pay all the bills. I run her. That's what he said. I run her.
Yeah, okay.
Hey, that's how he said it. And I'm like, man, y'all.
And he gonna be running himself right on down. He gonna be running around right by himself. Because eventually she gonna get tired of that and she gonna chuck loose.
Dog, come on, man. That's why I'll be like, y'all, come on, bro. Y'all.
I'll be understanding because I hear a lot of people. It's a lot of people that use allowance in marriage. Oh, my husband give me an allowance, or I give my husband an allowance.
But that's the ones
that ain't your child.
That ain't your child, man. But some are like that, bro. Like I'm serious. Some dudes are like, they would come in that barbershop. They be having a wad of cash. Come in there and let her walk in there. Here you go. Go do something. Like, wait a minute. Y'all in a relationship or he own you? Like, what's going on right here? Like, what's this? You know, they wishing upon us. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I mean, anybody that boasts that is lying. I don't know. They could be, but it's about when I was telling about that guy boasting. Some women like stuff like that though. Some women like stuff like that they man take control of stuff and do all that.
No, some of them don't care because they're getting money.
Exactly. That's what I meant to say. Some of them because they getting paid. Yeah, because they
get money. They gonna do what they want to do while he at work. And then so that money can keep going. That's the only reason why
they allowing him to do
his food is cooked.
It's cooked and everything.
And his clothes washed.
Because he bringing that money.
His dirty drawers got clean. It's because they started getting that money. Ain't no telling what she doing while he at work.
She doing something.
It's just she ain't had her, going to get the nails and the her nails and hair and stuff done once or every 2 weeks or whatever. She'll bet you she doing something. She doing something to say that she is enjoying it. She don't care that's her little give that she got to do every day. Her little 10% to make him think that she doing 100%, but she do just enough to keep that money flowing.
I'm telling you, man, it's so many podcasts today. It's talking so stupid. I have to agree with Yanita's life journey on that one because I see a lot of podcasts. Now, some do talk the truth, but there's a lot of them out there, man. You just be hearing the most dumbest stuff. Like one dude on one of the podcasts was talking about relationships, man. I can't remember. he was talking about relationships, how women act, but he was talking about like the different skin colors or different races, or how I was, I was like, man, what is going on here? Like, what are y'all? I think that podcast too has become a platform to where people can say or speak what they want to say and make their opinion their truth and say, "Oh, I said it's on my podcast."
That's all. It's just
If you don't want to watch my podcast, and don't watch it. But I can say what I want to say. I think that's what people do. And so it's just like, bro, like what you're saying, it just doesn't make any sense, But I just turned the channel, man. I didn't even want to watch it, man. That stuff be popping up on my news feed, man. I just be like, man, I don't want to watch that. It just don't be making sense. But stuff like that come out, and people they'll get on there and they'll say stuff and everything, and I just be like shaking my head, like, bro, like, what are you talking about? Please help me understand. Help me understand what you're talking about.
Yeah, that's true too. Sometimes they just be talking just to get their numbers up for their viewers things or whatever. So that is true. A lot of people do that. They do even some of these little videos and reels and stuff that they be making is just for the views. Just so they can try to she say, oh, Rod and family. No, Tim tried that telling me he owned me. He tried, but it didn't work on me. Oh, yeah, but you got people, and then you got to remember that some people. That's how, unfortunately, that's how they was raised. That's what they was taught. That's what they saw. So they carried it on and did what they do. But again, it's gonna be up to that individual person if they gonna accept it, if they gonna allow it. Um, but you do have some people who as he said that do stuff that like that don't even care if they significant other say that they love them. I mean that they own them. That they don't even care because they getting some type of benefit. So I'm sorry, I did not mean to hit the camera. Said that they're getting some type of benefit from it. So there some of them don't even care, but there's some of them that do care. They're not strong willed. They're so used to being belittled or being controlled that it's like whatever. That's something that's normal to them. So it don't. You look like you should say something. That's why I stopped. You look like you should say something.
Nah.
But you got it's crazy. It's like some of the stuff you see of how people are in relationships and things. It's sometimes it can just be baffling. It's mind boggling. It's just like I don't understand how you could do stuff like that. Subject yourself to something or be okay with it. But some people are like that, so I guess. I guess.
I mean, yeah, man. I mean, it's some people like that, and and back in the day, I mean, that's how a lot of people were taught or raised. It was like that. Um, what happened to Boss Lady? No, Tim tried that, telling me, and he owned me. He tried, but it didn't work on me. Yeah. So I mean, sometimes, man, we have to just make sure that we are. Uh, of course, everybody's out there putting out their own stuff. But man, the way I look at it, man, if it's not according to God's word, man, I just look and I'll be like, okay, you just mumbling and going on, and you have no connections into where the word says, because again, God created relationship, and he's the one who created it, and we are just along for the ride, and we learn how to become better by becoming better followers of Christ, and then learning how to love one another. Just like what Rachel was saying earlier about we have to learn each other. And I think that's what people have to learn today. We have to learn how to love one another, man. And so many people, like my friend at work, y'all check this out. This is another one that's happening today. People are getting married. The whole wedding, the whole shebang. They're getting married, then staying in separate houses.
Dude, wait,
no, this is for real, bro.
No, I know
they're getting married and staying in separate houses.
I've had this conversation. I don't know how many times.
Talking about I'm married, but then I'm still my single self, but I'm married. But I just want to stay in my own place. But if I want to sleep over where you stay at, I sleep over. But I still want to have my own house.
I don't understand that.
Yeah, bro, it's so stupid, bro.
Unfortunately, it's too many people that are like that. Man. That they do that. Now, some of them I understand that who are married and their spouse or something works out of town and they have a second home wherever they work at. Like if they're gone, 2 weeks at a time and then come back home on the weekend. So they got separate homes. I get that. I understand that if that works for you because of the way the job situation. But you intentionally, purposely.
Nah, this is intentional.
Y'all live and it's no. I've had somebody tell me that they said that. Matter of fact, she said if she ever got married, if she was to ever get married, because she said the same thing, that if she ever get married, that they would have separate houses, or at least if they had like a y'all know how duplexes.
Yeah.
So even if they had like a duplex, that she would have a door that they can walk back and forth in between each other house, but the whole purpose is for him to have his own room, his own bed, that they wouldn't be sleeping in the same bed. Because
no sleeping in the same bed.
Because not to say that they wouldn't be doing it, they'll do, but she just now her reasoning for saying that was because of how she sleeps. She's a wild sleeper, and she don't want to be doing all this and be so she sleep like a toddler. So she don't want to be, be doing all that. That's what she says she would have her own. That she want him to have their own bed, separate rooms. Excuse me, a separate house. But it was somebody else that asked that said the same question on Steve Harvey on when he had his talk show. This lady said the same thing, and of course everybody's like, "Bruh." And she was like, no, she was dead serious, but that's what I want. That's what I want. How do you build a relationship like that?
You can't. They don't want to. They want the sex, but they don't want the relationship.
But was just the notion to say that you was married, just to say that you could say that you was married, that you're married. But otherwise, that ain't no true relationship.
Because the benefits do come with being married, though, according to the government. But I mean, still, come on, man. A lot of people are doing it.
It's crazy. They're doing
it. A lot of people are doing it.
How common it's starting to get.
Yes. And do they own the house? It's a yes and no. It's a yes and no if they own that house or not. But this is a decision that couples are making. That to where when they get married, I'm gonna have my own place and you can have your own place. And then when we come together, we can come together on this is the decision that they make. When you come together, we can come together on date nights. If we want to do this or whatever and stuff. But it's just like, come on, man. Like, it's
I don't get it, because it was another one. I can't remember what I heard it on, that they live down the street or like around the corner or something.
That's it. That's it. You need, it's like they still want their own. They still want their own. I don't even, I can see how it could be just for show, but I don't think it is. I think it's I think it's selfish reasons, because they are doing this because they still want their own personal stuff. And they don't want.
They don't want to give up.
They don't want to give up their own.
They don't want to give up to, as they said, to when two join together.
They don't want
matrimony. They join together.
They don't want
to. As you said, that's true. They don't want to give up. Well, they set in their ways. They don't want nobody telling them. They don't want to have to compromise.
They don't want to share.
They don't want. They don't want to share. They don't want to no longer become. They don't want to lose their independence.
Independency, yeah, that's what it is. They don't want to lose it. They don't want to lose it, man. And I mean, seriously, people hearts today, y'all, I'm trying to tell you, they're wax cold, bro. They cold. They cold, man. I mean, when I heard that, and because my friend Adrian, he's single. And so I'm like, yo, we was talking like, oh, Adrian, we gonna hook up. He was like, man, shoot, I don't know about y'all, but I'm gonna give me a what do you call those the things to deal with the money? The prenup.
Prenup.
I say, Adrian, why you gonna get that? He say, TJ, you must know what's going on out here. I say, tell me. He said, TJ, there are couples right now doing this every day. They're getting married and then staying separate. He said, TJ, it's crazy out there. I said, you serious? Like, yes. I'm like, man, that's how I found out about it. And I don't know how the dating world is now. I know it's different. I know it's a whole different ball game. But it's like, bro, like, why? My thing is, what's the whole point? You're getting married, but then you're staying in two separate places. And somebody said something, yeah, like the Bronner family in question, what do they do when the kids who live
take turns? Take turns.
Saying,
what I was that the kids will either go stay with the one that I can't remember what it was on. Oh my god. Where I heard that they literally was down the street from each other. Down the street and around the corner. That the kids will either stay at either one's house whenever, either for the week or the weekend, and they will alternate.
Yeah.
Or go back and forth, or the kids would just go back because they were so close. Well, but
yeah.
people, I don't know, y'all.
Say,
I'm glad I ain't single no more.
That's
all I gotta say.
Rachel Recovery say, but two people being on the same page without longing for the other sounds plan. Two people don't have the same brain or personalities. They had to plan it to bring to being that way. Of course, and they did plan it of being that way. But even just to come up with a plan like that is selfish. To come up with a plan like that, for one, that's not how the way God designed marriage. For one, He didn't design it for y'all to be living in two separate houses. And then He didn't design for you to have your own stuff. He didn't design it like that. It was created for you to join as one. And if you're planning it like that, that's still saying that you are selfish and you're not willingly to actually be married. Being married means you have to share everything that you got. You got to be ready to give over. And watch this, with God too. So you got to have God as the head, and then y'all two have to be all in one. So if you planning like that, then that's selfish planning. That's like, come on, man. You can't, you cannot grow like that. You might as well just say we're gonna get married and then get a divorce the next day.
But as y'all saying that, they have become comfortable with the life that they had while they were single. That they don't want that changed.
Yeah, that's
they don't want that changed.
They don't want them. They don't want it, and that's crazy. And I'm gonna tell you something else. This gonna blow your mind. Watch this. I found this out by I was watching that cancel court stuff. Man, that stuff is crazy. I had to stop watching it because I got irritated. But dude, you know what else is big now? Open smash session in marriage. Oh, and it's agreed upon too.
Yeah.
The two when you get married.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, I would like to be openly to go smash this dude or smash this dude or smash this female, have them in an intertwined relationship.
Yeah.
And
that was the whole thing with that's the whole thing with Will and Jada.
But not just with them, but I'm talking about it's just everybody doing it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what is going on here?
Because again, they want to say that they are married, that they have some type of want to feel like they have some type of security to say that, okay, I'm married, but I still get to go do what I want to do. And some of them even have rules to the point, like they said that they had, that you don't bring that person home. You don't bring them to our house. You go do what you gonna do out there. But when you come home, it's us. It's me and you. There's another. There was one. I don't know what show or whatever was on. My sister was telling me about it. That this guy that he's married, but has the new girl.
A new
With
girl.
he has the new chick. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
they all live in the same house,
Oh my.
and they have that each of them have their date night, and plus the kids are still there at the house, so to keep the kids from being having to go through the whole divorce thing or whatever, it's so much unnecessary stuff, but they do that they have it. She got her time that she had with him. He have the other one have her time she got with him, and they all they switch. It's scheduled. They take they take turns and alternate. Yeah, people they do some dumb stuff like that
But
because
then,
they
but people say, oh, as long as y'all two in agreement with that, it's okay. Like, no, it's
no, it's
not.
not. It's just because people are trying to justify for the nastiness.
It's,
It's just nasty. That's all that is. It's just people to
you know
justify their actions
that's
to make it
exactly
okay.
that's exactly what happened to King Solomon. His behind, no dang well he didn't need all them wives, and they end up turning him away from God. That's why the kingdom fell, because he listened to them instead of just having one, and then had a whole bunch of side chicks. So he had wives and concubines. So I'm just saying, I'm just saying, man, like the stuff that the world approves today, and maybe I'm late. Maybe I'm late.
No, you're married.
No, I'm just saying because I don't see.
You're in a true marriage.
It's just, man, it's like you don't know. That's why I'll be careful who I make friends with, who I'm with, because you never know. Oh, TJ, we can be friends. Oh yeah. Oh, and TJ. Oh, wait a minute. Do y'all swing? No.
That's just like the episode of even though it was for entertainment, but it's true that they do that.
Exactly,
like
Rachel. They doing it for no reason. Yeah. It's like,
yeah, that was just like the episode of Martin when the guy that they invited Martin to a party
oh
at their
man, that
house, and then when
was.
he got there it was all wild and stuff. They had all these people that the wife was trying to get with him, and all yeah, they do stuff like that. They had them swing parties and all these outside relationships, but as long as they don't bring it home, it's okay. As long as they don't bring it home, they say it's okay.
Man, dude, that's why I say too much is too much, man. Who said that? I forgot one of the pastors that said that about King Solomon, and I knew he had a lot of wives. I knew what they did, but they still led him away from God. And it's just like, dude, like y'all, it's like, man, come on, bro, like y'all out here being nasty and man, doing all this stuff, man, and it's just like, bro, what are you doing? Like, why are you even? Why I can have mine over here and I can have this one over here. We can all live together and we can do this. Or I can do this. Or you know what? She can be with me today, but then she can be with another dude tomorrow. How do you think transmitted diseases spread? Like, come on, man. Like, y'all just be out here with the wilding, man. And that's why I say
you're nasty.
And I mean the world is okay with it. They be like, oh, it's okay as long as y'all got that, agreement together to do that. You know what I'm saying? It's okay, y'all. Yeah, y'all do what y'all got to do and stuff. Like, nah, brother. No, keep that over there. You keep that between y'all. Do that stuff because dude, no, man. Come on, man. And it's just like people don't want to. They don't. They want the sex, but then they want it on maximum levels of supreme. If I see this booty over here, I want that booty and that booty. They want a buffet of booties.
They got a booty buffet. They got a booty buffet.
I want that booty.
Got a little booty, big booty.
I want that.
That look like 3 booties on that one booty.
Like, come on, man. He said buffet booties. Lord
Booty galore.
Man.
Booty galore.
God, dude, it's like it don't make no sense, man. And that's why I understand why my mom, you know what I'm saying, she taking her time, because some of these Negroes out here are nasty and booty boots rocking. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like, dude, it's like, you know, it's people are nasty, man. You gotta watch yourself. You gotta watch you gotta watch yourself. You know, you gotta watch what dude you date, because you never know, he could be with 3 other women. And you're like, oh, you my one. Like, man,
oh yeah, you the main squeeze.
You the main squeeze.
You the main chick.
But I 3 others on the side.
They just, you know, every once in a while.
Come on, man. Just stop it.
Lord, I'm glad I ain't in a single life. No. The blessing.
You gotta walk around. I'm talking about you gotta walk around with the angels protecting you nowadays. You single. Because God, man, you can have a dude that have a holy Bible in his hand and he's still ratchet.
Well,
oh, then he said one dude did try it. No,
oh Lord. Oh wait.
His feelings got hurt.
Imagine what that encounter was, Jesus.
He got disrespected. I like it. But no, I mean, dude, I mean for real, bro. Like you can't be like, come on, man. That's retarded, bro. Like I'm just, it's things of that way. It's things like that. That's why I'm glad I'm not in the world.
It's the same, but from a different person.
Exactly, bro. Like the same thing come out. The same thing come out, man. No, you want to get real? Let's get real. The same thing come out. But I'm just saying, like, you know, I mean, dude, people today are they're just funny, because then they'll be like crying, so I got this, I got that, but look how nasty you living. You know what I'm saying? Look what you doing. You know, just look at what you're doing, man, and it's just craziness. And this is why we got to stick to the Word of God. That's why I always tell people, I don't care what they say. Oh, the Bible is too strict. No, it's not. It's telling you to follow this. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? If you don't follow this, then X, Y, and Z is what's gonna happen. This is what's gonna happen if you don't follow this. You know, it's a cause and effect, man. And you have to understand, God put this out here so we won't damage ourselves. You know, you out here walking around.
I don't want nobody telling them what to do. Don't want nobody telling them what to do.
Like, come on, man. Nah, people don't like that today at all. But no, man, it's really sad, man. This is why I thank God for us and for you guys that's on here and people, because we are the light of the world, and we have to show people, hey, man, a marriage between a man and woman. You know, marriage between a man and woman, and have kids. You know, have kids. God said multiply. So do it.
That's why.
Multiply.
That's what James was saying. He got as many kids as he got. As he said, the Bible said, "Be fruitful and multiply." So that's why he did. He multiplied.
Yes, he has a lot of children. But no, I'm just saying, man. Like you have to make sure that you are, you know, make sure that you're right. You have to make sure that, what's that? God did say there will be lovers of them. Yeah, they are. Yeah.
So Adam said it is good.
But I mean, dude, we have to just make sure that we're doing it, because in these times, man, it's so much crap going on, y'all. And like I said, I didn't know that people was doing that. That living in different houses thing. I didn't know that was going on.
That's supposed to be the norm. It's a lot
of stuff in the dating world that I just did not know. It's just,
listen, when you're out the game, you're out the game.
Yeah, but it's just people are doing stuff differently. They doing stuff different. They don't care. And I don't care about you. I don't care about them, but they doing stuff differently, man. They doing stuff differently. So I guess. But guys, it is now almost 8:30. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. This episode was an open free one, and we hit on some good topics. And they were all from different places. And we did hit up the word. God has to send an angel to show me the man for me. Hey. There you go. Listen. But listen, guys, I want to make an announcement before we get off. I want to make an announcement. So on May, I'm sorry, guys.
How you gonna make an announcement, but you don't know what the announcement you're trying to make?
No, I'm just trying to make sure I have the right date here. Trying to make sure I have the right date. So on May, on May the 20th this year, me and my wife are going to be renewing vows.
Come on with the
We're gonna be renewing vows, and we invite you guys to come out.
Bam! That your invite right there.
Oh, we're gonna be sending it out pretty soon. We're gonna be sending it out pretty soon. We're gonna be renewing our vows. I am
15 years, y'all. 15 years now.
So we gonna be going in, man. So y'all guys get ready.
Okay, it ain't gonna be like a go all out blast out situation.
No, it's gonna be.
But no, we have never. For those who do not know, we have never had a. We did not have an actual real ceremony. Well, we had a real ceremony, but not a typical wedding, I should say.
But everybody came out, yeah.
Yeah, we did not. So, and we were initially said we would just have one big huge reception or something afterwards, and we never did it. And I just so happened to remember, or it came across my mind, that it would be 15 years this year. Mm-hmm. And I think it came when we was hit the 10-year mark. We had thought about it briefly, but then we was like, yeah, no, I don't even remember why not then. But it's the 15-year mark, and I'm geeked like I ain't never been mad before geeked.
Yeah.
Which is funny. I was too busy going, so I had told him, right, you know, I was like, you know what, I got a place where I can find, you know, my outfit. But I then got to Google it, and then got to Google it. I said, Lord Jesus. So I'm about to shock him a little bit. Like, he already ready. He already ready to go. He ready to go. I ain't gonna let too much. Don't be trying to figure it out either. No, but that's what I was gonna get. But yeah. So we done it, y'all.
On the 20th, May 20th, and we're gonna be sitting out.
20th.
We're gonna be sitting out invitation. Is that the actual invitation?
That is a screenshot of it.
Okay.
The video has not been posted yet. It's a video invite, but we will send it out. Because we were waiting to confirm. To make sure everything would be okay, or would be if that would be a good date. So it is a vow renewal. It will not be as long as your typical wedding. So at least try not to be. It shouldn't be.
No, it's not.
We ain't try to be, and we will be eating and all that stuff too afterwards. So there will be a reception. So when y'all do get the invites, please RSVP. So we'll know how many people, so we can the head count, at least have a roundabout head count, so we can make sure that everybody able to eat and not just pick just be a little bit of food. Make sure y'all get fed. So this will definitely be it's exciting.
It is. It really is, man. I was like, wow.
Because I usually be like, I don't care. Oh, somebody's asking for the colors already. So y'all already know we had to do something to, bring both of us to represent both of us. So the colors are blue and purple. Blue and purple. I was about to see. Let me see if I can show you a shade. Otherwise, actually, y'all, when you see the invitation, you'll see the colors shades. So it'll be blue and purple. So yeah, and those are some actually bomb diggity when you see decorations and stuff. When you see the decorations, those colors together look real nice, look real good. So it will be blue purple with accent of silver. Cause y'all know we both like our silver. We both like platinum.
So I'll be in my blue. It'll be close to midnight blue, I think.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be close to it, but it'll be.
Let me see if I can. I don't know if y'all be able to see the colors that good. Y'all probably gotta wait till it's posted. Just try to show it on my screen through the phone. I mean, show it on the screen. Excuse me, through the phone.
Oh yeah.
So I don't know if y'all can see that good, but it would be that color blue. So your tip almost navy blue. And then the purple. If you can see that, the darker purple, not the light, but that darker purple that's on there. So blue and purple with the accent to silver.
Oh my man!
I was just playing the outfit ain't on that part. I have some backups underneath there, but yeah. So we ready? Or we getting ready?
Yeah, we getting ready.
We getting ready. But yeah. So if I'm about to say if I be calling on somebody, calling on y'all to do something. That's what it's for. But anyway, but yeah, I get it. I let geek.
Yeah, so May 20th, y'all. So make sure we'll send out invitations and everything. So we'll get ready. Oh, we're just at party seating for the balloons.
I don't know. I'll say those I'll probably get off of Amazon because it's a lot of them because of the idea that I have in my mind.
Oh, how you want to set up the?
Yeah, for the main thing is the let's talk about that like when we talk about all this. I'm not trying to do so much decorations in the inside for the ceremony party is because it's already nice in there. But the reception area, so we might need I might have to get them off of there because Party City charges what did she say? The one that I went to, especially if you take your I can't remember if you take your no, they charge you to blow them up. Depending on if you buy the package, that's what it was. If you buy the pack of balloons, they charge you to blow up those balloons.
Okay.
So even if you just get like one of those decorative ones, y'all know the ones that we like to get the bundles for birthdays and stuff, they'll do it with that. You know, they won't. There's no charge for that one because those are much higher when you buy those bundles. But if you buy the pack of balloons, that normally like it's just one solid color in the pack, even if it's mixed, but they the regular balloons. If you want helium, yeah, some of them charge you for each balloon that they put air in. And what you call it did that too. I had to ask one time a couple of years ago, or a couple of years ago when I was doing the decorations. Whenever we had something at church, you take your balloons to like Dollar Tree or somewhere and ask them if they can blow them up. They try to charge you $1.50 or something per balloon. I said, man, no. That's why I'm so glad your mama got a balloon machine. Because that's gonna be the cheapest route to go if you try to get helium, and it's the helium that they try to charge you for. But Lord, but yeah, it's on the move. It's on the move. It's on the move. Okay.
But we going in, guys. So I just want to let you guys know on the podcast, and also another change is coming, starting because my kids have football season at the end of this month. Before I let y'all go, my kids have football season at the end of this month. So from the 31st, starting on April the 1st, that's when I start doing my podcast on Saturdays. Starting on April the 1st, so next Friday, on the 24th, that'll be the last Friday that I do the podcast on Friday. Then I'll be doing it on every Saturday until the end of their season. Which is, I think, the end of their season. I think it ends right before the end of May. So the podcast is going to be changing from Friday nights to Saturday nights for the next couple of months. Then we're gonna go back to Friday nights, guys. So again, like I said, I'll let you guys know on that. Now I think that's everything that I have for y'all. So listen, guys, thank y'all for
y'all got the
in.
first announcement, the exclusive for May
Right.
the 20th.
So thank you guys for tuning in. And everything. I'll go ahead and let y'all go. So hey man, y'all have a great night, and I hope you enjoyed the show. If you have not clicked like, click like, subscribe, and share. Peace.
This is bye. Now, yeah, that's how you know we off the air. The light off.
Really.